Joining us now to continue this conversation is April Ogg. She is with Saginaw Street Consignments there in the city of Pontiac. April, always great to have you with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast.
Thanks, Ronnie, for having me.
So I'm really, I love the thought of consignments, because one thing during the pandemic, I think so many people are realizing they have way too much stuff in their house. Yes. But has that been a benefit for you or not as a consignment shop?
Well, it's always a benefit. I have people reaching out daily still since the pandemic and trying to either downsize, or they find that their children are not interested in, grandchildren are not interested in their sets of china, their collectibles, their figurines, or their furniture. So they all are trying to downsize and find new homes for their furniture and wares, yes.
So as a consignment shop, how has this world changed during COVID-19 and how you're operating your day-to-day business?
The biggest thing is still trying to reach out, of course, and the marketing aspect of letting people know that I am open and that it's safe to come in and shop. If they're not comfortable being here with other shoppers, I'm more than happy to set appointments up. And I try to reach out and let people know that if they have a girlfriend, they want to come in on an evening after work, that they're working, and take a few hours and stroll along, that's available.
So you're having to work double the hours then, I would imagine, because you're a small team. It's basically you.
Yeah, it is. And so I struggle to try to manage and advertise and input and be here. But I do a lot of internet and web sales on my eBay store. So I am constantly here uploading things to the internet to reach out outside of Michigan.
With that, knowing that, what's this been like for you to have to adapt to the cyber world?
Adapting, to me, still some of the social media is more of a struggle, but adapting, I found that eBay works very well for me. There's plenty of internet type sites out there to sell items that are already set up. So if you don't have a website, there are these social type media venues to sell. But so gratefully, I started my eBay store about 3 years ago. So I've managed to promote that, and I have a following on it, and I have anywhere from 300 to 500 items on my eBay store at all times. So without that, I would have definitely been a dead in the water here, yes.
And do you worry, April Ogg with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast, she's with Saginaw Street Consignments in the city of Pontiac. Do you worry if we go into another complete shutdown that you maybe won't survive?
I'm barely surviving now. Since the onset of this in even back to February, March, is when I would get, we all have in retail our slower months and then our heavier months. But since March, April, really, I saw my sales go down over 75%, down to zero. And I'm only back up maybe 25% of what I'm doing. So another shutdown would be traumatic for any small business, any business at all. And through some of the social media like Facebook, Marketplace is another venue to sell items. A lot of people sell their own items or reach out to people locally to sell. And even when we were shut down, Facebook shut down Marketplace. So we couldn't even sell through that. So I only had the eBay venue, which also went down tremendously.
Wow. So I never realized that Facebook shut down Marketplace.
When Michigan shut down, Facebook shut down. And now it might have done that prior, but it was definitely, it was just completely shut.
Wow.
Yes.
And so with that, you're a small business owner, and we tried to put a face on this pandemic and what people such as yourself are really going through on the front lines, because we hear our politicians talk and they'll offer some of these grants and these loans. Have you been able to take advantage of them, and what's that process been like?
I did. I was on top of that in the beginning. Actually, oddly enough, in February, I reached out to my credit card companies and my mortgage company. And on the onset, when I saw this, and just started calling people to find out what was going on. So gratefully, I've also been in touch with the Oakland County One-Stop Business Shop. So I started reaching out there and found out that there were going to be these grants coming through the pipeline and when they were coming out. So I did, and was fortunate enough to receive through Oakland County a small grant through that was distributed through each community. And then a second one came through the Small Business Association.
What was that process like, though, to actually go through it? Like, to see it post, hey, this is going to become available.
It was kind of, well, it wasn't like you could really talk to anyone. So you kind of filled out an application online. I was grateful that it was kind of weird because you're putting out certain information and you're wondering if this is really the site to put it on. And then with the SBA, it was like, okay, you're going to give us your bank account number and it's just going to automatically show up in your account. So that was kind of scary. And I called my bank about that to find out if this is, the real site or not. So really it was trying to keep above, and with so many scammers out there and trying to take advantage of older people. I mean, I kind of felt I was very hesitant at some of these, making sure that I had the right site and was giving the proper information. So it's very scary. Yes.
Yeah, and that's great. That's one angle of the story we haven't heard anyone really talk about, is being concerned about giving that information. Because like you said, you don't know. And they say, don't give it over the web, but here you're being forced to do that. With that, April, hey, you mentioned the importance of social media and places like Marketplace and eBay, but has it also made it more difficult for you because so many individuals are now using that as well?
With the Facebook Marketplace, it has, I saw about a year and a half ago, my sales actually go down, and not just the sales, because I have different the product that I get and a lot of the furnishings that I get from people, or that I also offer to receive and sell for them, are really nice quality pieces. And so this is how I make my living, and I try to do the best for my customers that give me items to sell for them. So in a marketplace, traditionally you have someone that's already replaced or has ordered to replace an item in their home. And so they're really looking for someone to pretty much come and pick it up and do the work for them. So they're not really looking to maybe make a living at all off of it, or maybe just make a few bucks on their efforts of having it for as long as they had it, or even just to have somebody come and pick it up. So it's kind of brought pricing down in that aspect. So you have to definitely be creative of where you post things. And there are a lot of the Facebook sites, marketplace sites, that, as you know, they are put up by an individual. So I can only post as myself. I can't really go and post as a business on those sites.
So with that though, April, if someone is looking for an extra few dollars to make some cash out of the chaos in their home, because I think a lot of people are trying to clear out stuff right now, when should they pick to go with a business such as yourself versus just trying to post it themselves?
Well, I think the people that are calling me are that are looking for someone that's in the professional field of handling their item. They don't want to deal with the public. They are professional or corporate people that don't have the time or the effort. and or they don't want to deal with the public. And so they would prefer their items go somewhere and have someone else handle that. And because I will also take their items in and hold it longer than what they're willing to. Maybe they don't have room for their item anymore, or maybe they sold their home and they can't take it with them.
Yeah, I think people also don't realize what goes into trying to sell some of these things online for yourself, because these websites have exploded over the last 5 years. You have Poshmark, you have so many of them, Facebook Marketplace, right? And so there are so many, but people, it's like it can become a full-time job. Like, you don't just take a picture and post it. You have to be very descriptive. So that to me is really where the work comes in.
Yes, it is a full-time job. There's probably 4 full-time jobs here that I'm doing as one person. Yes.
So with that, a small business owner, being very small, being yourself, what advice do you give to other business owners on trying to survive this?
I think what I find the best is, like, let's just stick together and support each other and like each other's Facebook page, or go on and promote. I have people calling me that I don't take clothing or certain things, shoes and stuff. So I always have cards of other businesses that do take that, and I try to promote and let people know to call other venues around in the city to do that. So I think that's really, going back to the arts and crafts period and supporting small business and supporting artists and keeping the money at home.
So April, just another minute or two with you here on the Oakland County MegaCast, and knowing that, I think it's great that you're trying to support other small businesses as well. What's it been like? You've been a longtime resident there in the city of Pontiac. Downtown Pontiac is going through a change right now. What has it been like for you as a business owner in the city of Pontiac?
I grew up in Pontiac. Actually, my family's had their business here. So Pontiac chose me. I didn't choose Pontiac. So I've seen it through the decades, their highs and their lows, when we had Habitat here with the glass gallery. And then we had finally having small little shops, maybe 4 years ago, come in and people come in and buy some of the buildings and actually put money into the buildings and try to bring business. It's just, it for some reason has always been a struggle down here. And I don't know what is going to get it through, but trying to allow new business, small business to come in, let the people manage their buildings, get them open, get the people in here, the businesses licensing could be a little bit easier. So just some of those things. We have a lot of empty spots right now. So it would be nice to see this, a little bit of this arts and crafts and gallery and retail happen again. Yes.
Yeah, small businesses really are the backbone of our community, but they also offer the opportunity to provide very unique items. And with that, before we let you go, do you want to talk a little bit about your shop? And if people want to visit it, what types of items can they find there?
So yes, I have on my website, SaginawStConsignments.com, I post my regular hours that I'm here. And I'm also here most other days. Like on Sunday, I'm here at least about 5 hours every Sunday doing some different things, or evenings, trying to update the website or post things on eBay. So you can always make it an appointment if you can't make it on the hours that I post on my site. I have everything from furniture. I get a lot of people that call with specific types of things. They want something for their TV to put on. They want mid-century modern. I have beautiful sets of china. I have a beautiful tabletop. So if you're a new bride or you have a daughter getting married, I have gorgeous sets of china and tabletop. I have flatware sets. I have beautiful antique glass that you can put candy, homemade cookies for Christmas and give it to a friend for Christmas. So I have a variety of collectibles, beautiful armoires, and artwork. I have a lot of original artwork. I have a variety of types of artwork. So I have African American artwork. I have mid-century modern artwork. I have some nice Latin artwork that came in. So I get all types of styles, and I don't really try to promote one or the other, but I promote what is best for the customer asking me for something and what their needs are. And that really comes from my interior design background. So that's kind of how I got started in this, actually. And I try to make sure that the item is good for the person and fits their needs.
I always feel like when you get something from a consignment store, though, it means more because it has a story behind it.
Yeah, yes, they do. And I always try to find out a little bit from the family or the person bringing the item in. If it was maybe an heirloom or something was given to them, or a little bit of background. And it's always fun. I find, I'm intrigued by learning more. Like as soon as I think I know everything about Depression vintage glass, I find there's a whole nother type of glass, Westmoreland, that I didn't know all the different types of varieties that they had. So yes, there's always a lot of research that I do and learning, and that's part of the fun. And I think that's where I get my, I just love doing it, and I'm hooked for sure.
Well, we are going into the holiday shopping season. If you are thinking about a unique gift for someone that you love, please take the time to visit some of our consignment shops and our small businesses. Saginaw Street Consignments, located right there in downtown Pontiac. April, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ronnie, for having me. I appreciate it.